Hi everyone, welcome to lesson 18. In this lesson we are going to learn about transitive verbs and intransitive verbs. A transitive verb is a verb that requires an object to do an action to, whereas an intransitive verb does not require an object and makes sense all by itself. In today's lesson we will look at both and see their similarities and differences. Okay? So, first we have transitive verbs. In these examples here, you're going to see that each verb has an object. Okay? The object is having the action performed to it. For example, our first example says, she blank a poem. So, a poem is the object. Okay? This is the object. The poem is the object. What did she do? We could say she created a poem. She wrote a poem. So we'll say she wrote a poem. Okay, so she wrote a poem coming from the verb to write, and poem is the object. Okay, so the action coming from this verb here is performed on the object, which is the poem. Okay? Number 2 says, we blank pizza for dinner. We blank pizza for dinner. Obviously, we're going to say we eat pizza for dinner, or you could say we in the past. If you want to talk about the past, you could say we ate pizza for dinner. Okay? We ate pizza for dinner. Okay? Now, ate is the past tense coming from the verb to eat, and we're performing an action on the object. In this sentence here, what is the object? Do you know? The object is pizza. So we are eating the pizza. Okay? We ate the pizza for dinner. Pizza is the object. Okay? It has the action performed to it. Number 3, I blank the apartment this morning. Okay? You could say I cleaned the apartment this morning. Okay? It was very dirty, but now it is clean. I cleaned the apartment this morning. Okay? So you clean what? You clean the apartment. The apartment is the object. Number 4, they blank dishes in the kitchen together. So, what do you do to dishes? You wash dishes. They washed dishes in the kitchen together. Okay, so dishes is the object. It's the thing that's receiving the action. Okay, and the action is coming from the verb to wash in this case. Okay, they washed dishes in the kitchen together. Number 5, he blank play the guitar. So we're going to use a modal verb in this case. What can we say for number 5? He blank play the guitar. He can play the guitar. So we'll say he can play the guitar. Number 6, I blank the milk the day before yesterday. So you go to a store and what do? You give money to the teller and he gives you something in return. In this case, it's the milk, which is the object in this sentence, and it's receiving the action. I bought. B-O-U-G-H-T. I bought the milk the day before yesterday. Finally, number 7. I blank movie tickets on the weekends. So you're talking about something that's like a routine you do every weekend maybe. I buy movie tickets to go to the cinema, right? I buy movie tickets on the weekends, okay? Now, buy is the verb, and what are you buying? Movie tickets, okay? So these are known as transitive verbs, okay? Because they perform an action on an object. So the object is poem, pizza, apartment, dishes, play the guitar, guitar is the object, milk, and movie tickets, okay? These are objects. And these are the verbs that perform the action. Okay? So as you can see, these are sentences in which the object receives the action by the verb. Now, I want you to look at the sentences here and compare them a little bit, okay, with intransitive verbs. I went last week. Okay? Now, unlike these ones here, you don't need the rest of the sentence. You could just say I went and it's fine. Okay? I went. Okay, you could say I went and then specify the time. I went last week. Number 2, he blank 5 days ago. He died. Okay. Number 3, we blank on the bench. what did we do on the bench? On a bench, you sit. You can say, we sat on the bench. But you don't have to put this. You could just say, we sat, okay? He died 5 days ago. You don't have to say 5 days ago. You could just say he died. It makes sense all by itself, okay? Number 4, they blink on time. What happens on time? They arrive on time, okay? They arrive on time. You don't have to put on time, you could just say they arrive. Number 6, my alarm clock rings at dawn. Okay, rings is like when it goes beep, 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 and you wake up in the morning. Number 7, the sun blank up. You remember? We can say, for the sun, we could say to come up, or you could say to rise up. Okay, the sun came up. Okay, and then number 8, I blank over the bridge. You could say I walked over the bridge with your legs. You could say I drove over the bridge with a car. And we'll say that. I drove over the bridge. Okay, so these are transitive verbs and these are intransitive verbs. Okay, so as you can see in these examples here, they do not require an object and the verb can be used all by itself. Okay, some verbs though are both transitive and intransitive verbs, like these ones that you see in the examples here. And so we're going to see these ones, take them here and look at the comparisons here. So just take a look at this really quick. Okay, so now we'll go to the next one. So we have transitive and intransitive, bring them here, and I'll turn like this. It says he blanked the door, or it says the door opened. Okay, so you see that we have this verb right here, which comes from the verb to open. Now, this itself, this is intransitive, okay? But we need a transitive verb here, so we're gonna say he opened. Okay, he opened the door. Okay, because with transitive verbs, we're talking about an action being performed. He physically performed an action by opening the door. Okay, the door here is the object. It receives the action. All right, next. She rang the bell and the bell blank. So what can we say here in this blank spot? Do you know? She rang the bell, so we're going to take this verb right here, coming from the verb to ring, right? To ring. For example, if you have a phone, ring, 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 hello. Or an alarm clock right here. My alarm clock rings at dawn. She rang the bell, or the bell rang. Okay. So this one right here, this is transitive, because it's performing an action on the object, which the object is the bell. This one is intransitive. There is no object to perform an action onto. And this one here, it says, I blanked the present under the tree, then I left. Okay, so left comes from the verb to leave. Okay, I leave, you leave, he, she leaves. But in the past form, it's left. Okay, in the past. So, I blanked the present under the tree, then I left. Okay, you can also say left, meaning you place something under the tree, or you set something under the tree. So, you could say, there's other synonyms, for example, place, set, okay. These ones are the two big ones. So place and set, but when we use it in the intransitive form, okay, it means to go. To go away, right? To go somewhere else. To go away, right? To leave somewhere. Okay? So remember, this is intransitive. Okay, whereas I left the present under the tree, it's transitive because you're performing an action onto what? The present, right? You left the present under the tree. The present is the object with the action being performed to it. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. It's also important that you learn how to use the negative form of a verb in the past tense, okay? So a similar rule applies when you are making questions, okay, regarding an action that happened in the past, okay? So we could say, for example, if you look here, she blank write a poem. She blank write a poem. Now, we're talking about the past, okay? And remember, the past, with a lot of the past tense verbs, we use ed, okay? Bought is irregular, okay? So you don't use ed, but here we have die, died, okay? Ed. No, what we're going to do with the negative form is we put the word didn't, okay? She didn't write a poem. Notice that when we have the negative form, we do not have ed. We just have write. We don't have righted or wrote, okay? Because the past tense of write is wrote. No, there is no ed. We blank eat pizza. We didn't eat pizza, okay? Notice here we have eat and we don't have ate. Ate is in the past tense, but here we have the present tense, but this right here in the negative form, didn't, is in the past tense. So that's what it represents. I blank clean the apartment. I didn't clean the apartment, okay? Here there is no ed. So we cannot say I didn't cleaned the apartment. You cannot say that, okay? Like right here we have cleaned with ed. No, I didn't clean the apartment. They didn't wash the dishes. Whereas here in the positive sense, they washed with ed. They washed the dishes. Okay, so pretty easy. In these cases, only the verb to do gets conjugated because you can see that we have to do, and that's how you get did not. And did not becomes didn't. Okay, so that's how you put didn't right here. Comes from the verb to do. Now, only the verb to do gets conjugated and not the verb that requires ed in the positive sentences like you see here. Okay, so it's a little different. Now, when you want to make questions, all we have to do is put the word did in the front of the sentence, okay? So this says questions with did. You take did and you put it in the front. So it becomes, did I go last week? Did I go last week? Blank, he died 5 days ago. Did he die 5 days ago? Blank, we sit on the bench. Did we sit on the bench? Did they arrive on time? And finally, blank the tree fall, did the tree fall. Also notice that we don't have ed, okay? So there's no ed here, no past tense, nor is there ed right here. With the negative and questions, it's a little different, okay? So we only conjugate the verb to do, okay? That's how we get did, okay? Did right here, okay? Did I go last week, right? Did he die 5 days ago? So we can't say did he died 5 days ago? No, we can't say that. Okay, so pretty easy. Just make sure you memorize that, all right? And guys, that's all for lesson 18. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again. And take care. Bye.